the Tezos network was kind of busy upgrading itself into the Hangzhou protocol. So do you want to reverse the panel a little bit? You guys want to ask me how the Hangzhou protocol went?
How did it go?
How did you prepare?
I have a more detailed question. What have you done to retain your youthful appearance during this difficult time?
I've mainly gone into, I've crept into my fridge and just kind of crouched in there to cryogenically freeze myself. But the good news is, for this major upgrade, that amount of cryogenic freezing wasn't required. We spent a lot of time testing in advance, especially CanSay. We did an enormous amount of effort upgrading our backend infrastructure. So all the software had to be updated in anticipation of Hangzhou. Most importantly, there was something called, there was a storage upgrade. So during the switchover of the protocol, some Tezos nodes took about half an hour to upgrade themselves. Some of them took several hours. In some exceptional cases, it took much longer than that. So we had to make sure we were prepared for all of this. A decentralized protocol upgrade doesn't really obey any holiday calendars. So sadly, it happened on a Friday night, but that was fine. We worked around it. And when the protocol upgrade itself happened, things more or less went okay. There was no need for any last minute patches. There was no need for any bug fixes at the last second. And all things said and done, I think it went pretty smoothly. And we had people that were going to come in on Saturday and just be around to fix any issues, but they didn't even need to come in. So enormous amount of testing seems to have paid off. But yeah, just happy that this went okay, and looking forward to creeping into my fridge again.
So it's a good point, right? We also had a very large CanSay release at the same time. That appears to have gone well. We have lots of new functionality, right?
Yeah, so that was a major concern. Not only were we upgrading the protocol, but we had months and months of pent-up CanSay changes. So we've added a bunch of new features. For example, it's possible to get the entire history of a big map right now. So let's say you're looking at a token contract. Now you can check the balance, the token balances as of any date in the past. So if you were curious who held how much USDTV in April, you can do so now using CanSay or Aronax. We made a bunch of stability and development changes. Those seem to have gone well. Better fork handling, and just something like 38 individual pull requests had to be merged in order to get this CanSay release out, and on top of a major protocol upgrade. So that all went out. Truth be told, there's a couple of features that we didn't officially release that we did add code for. So one of them is metadata caching. So just to have metadata for all the token contracts on Tezos, and some NFT specific functionality. And we're trying to get those last bits out right now. But overall went pretty well for us. And as we understand it, for other ecosystem participants that use CanSay, they also had a smooth upgrade.
And for several months now, we've been increasing the capacity of our infrastructure, right? So I imagine part of the reason why it went well is because we had just more capacity. So more servers can be down, for example, while we maintain service to our users.
Yeah, like we keep saying, usage has really gone up this year. So in just the past few months, something like 27 million transactions have happened. So, the interesting thing is, usually we've been fine with 2 CanSay environments in production for most of the lifetime of Tezos. But this year, there's been so much demand that we're up to 8 environments. So yeah, indeed, that helped. scaling of the infrastructure months in advance really helped. But it's a arduous process, and the costs do go up. And then, the other thing is we've realized each machine that we have in the infrastructure has to be scaled up. So we're running much bigger servers right now. But given the amount of usage and the fact that we kind of expect to go up even further, now we're going to have to make some optimizations to CanSay, to the data that's stored in the database, or we're just not going to be able to keep up. So in the coming weeks and months, we're going to spend time on optimizing, pruning the kinds of data that we store, and just really the amount of storage that's needed to store all this data, which previously was completely fine, but is now happily, it's becoming unsustainable.
Cool, but I'm excited about the fact that we're able to keep Galleon running smoothly almost the entire time. I mean, obviously, as you said, during the storage upgrade process, the servers were non-responsive, but that was a very brief period.
Absolutely. There was a 20-30 minute period in which all the nodes of the network were upgrading themselves. So not a single block could be produced in that time. So naturally, Galleon wasn't operational then. However, as soon as one of our nodes was online, we could get Galleon also back online. So for such a major upgrade, the service interruption was, I would say, about 35 minutes, because the nodes had to upgrade, then the block production had to go back to normal. And through that whole process, we were able to keep Galleon up and running. And this is not necessarily the case on many other chains with many other hard and soft forks. So all in all, that went pretty well.